Hi. It's a nice little hairdo I got going on, right? I pretty much always like to bring, I feel like for you guys, I try to bring not only Hallmark movies, but I try to bring you some stylistic choices that you might not have considered and might want to use for your early morning errand running, like picking up, like the drive up pickup at Target. If I've never mentioned that here, drive up pickup from Target is like it's just one of the best things that has ever been invented in the history of the world. Um, Basically, like there were the pyramids, there were like there's Stonehenge. Is Stonehenge one of the wonders of the world? I don't know what the seven wonders of the world are, you guys, but for my money, Target drive up pickup is one of the wonders of the world. And now I'm definitely going to go Google those. Maybe I'll put them so we can all learn something today. Maybe I will put them right here, like put words, like I do. Uh, like today, for example, I went to go get coffee, and then the coffee took longer because um, they were out of. So, like, I eat way too much and I eat too many sweets and everything, but like, this is very cliche, but I'm planning to try to reset the situation in the new year. Because, like 3 years ago, I reset during the new year and I did keto and I was like great on it and I lost like 45 pounds. So, hey, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do keto, but I'm going to do something to like um, not eat like I've been eating. So, anyway, 2022 is the year. So, um, I ordered from Starbucks the cranberry bliss bar, I think it's called, which, like, if you like cranberries and you like a sweet cream cheese type of a thing, these are delicious. It's like a cranberry orange confection, if you will, that I had never even heard of until a friend from work turned me on to these. And I was like, curse you, because why did you ever tell me that these existed? Because they're really good. Anyway, so I go to pick up my stuff and I got a croissant for the kid. And they gave me my coffee like straight away. Like, here, my stuff. Because I actually, like, yeah. Anyway, my stuff was like done in plenty of time because I had ordered it in advance. And then she was like, well, your other thing is coming. Well, no, not really. Even though she went back there and made it look like she was like, oh, it's on its way. What had happened was, and I should have figured this, was that they were out of the cranberry bliss because the lady is like working furiously back there, like heating up the sandwiches, heating up the things. And I'm like, that's not even something that you got to heat up. You just got to cut that square out. So why would it not be ready when the croissant was already ready, when which you guys warmed for my kid? So you guys are like, why am I listening to this story? Where's my You're questioning all your life choices because I'm talking about Starbucks. Anyway, so I just sat there waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting. And then she was like, said something, and I go, yeah, it's a cranberry bliss bar. And then she goes back there and she says, it's cranberry bliss bar. And they're like, we're out of them. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, so that makes sense why it wasn't here. I think I really did say it like that too, but not super bitchy because I really do love them there. They're very good. They're usually very good and on their game. So, uh, instead I got like a muffin because then they like, what do you want? And then I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck you have, or sorry, I don't know what you have, or what's in stock, or what's not in stock. But I'm like, you have muffins? And they're like, yeah, we have blueberry, or we have pumpkin with like cream cheese in it. And I'm like, okay, well, I have cream cheese and I like cream cheese, so I went with the pumpkin. Don't know how it's gonna be because I'm gonna eat that later. What the hell was the point of me telling you that story? Oh, okay. The point of me telling you that story was that it took me so long there that by the time I was done and driving away, like then Target was like, hey, your order's ready. So I was like, you know what? That was the whole point. The universe was like, we're going to make you wait a little bit longer at Starbucks so that you don't get all the way home and then find out that your Target order is ready so you don't have to make an extra trip. Although I'm going to go out again today to go for a walk, but still, that was the whole point of that story. So, like, I clicked the thing that said that I'm on my way, and then I got there, and then like he was literally like already in the parking lot waiting because he had pulled like he had somebody else's order plus my order was just like literally just a bag, and I was like, like he's right there, like and he knew because you tell what kind of car you're coming in, and so the whole point of that fucking 3 minute story was that Target Drive Up is fantastic, and I love it very much. So you should do it. Now I don't remember what I said, if I even said to you what movie. I'm literally 5 minutes in and I don't even think I've told you what movie that I'm just trying to watch right now. So, Our Christmas Journey with Holly Robinson Pete. And I'm like biased going into this, and I need to try not to be, but I when I am biased, I tell you guys, just like when I watched that movie that had the train guy in it, I'm like, I hate Train. So I'm telling you that right now before I go to watch this movie. I don't like Train. I actually dislike them very much, even when I sing along to their songs, but I'm telling you that when I go watch the movie. And then it turned out I didn't even hate the guy in the movie. So when it comes to Holly Robinson Pete, you know, this is Our Christmas Journey. There was a mystery series that she did, and I do like the movies and mysteries movies, but like I tried watching one and I was completely bored, couldn't get into it. There was another one that she did, um, The Christmas Doctor. It did not look like anything I wanted to watch, but the Miracles of Christmas movies are ones that like usually I probably would just skip. Like I've never watched Holly and Ivy because I don't want to be sad and I don't want to cry. Like if it was on this year because I'm doing this project, I would totally watch it. But so in general, that's my own bias for looking at movies and mysteries. So this is a Miracles of Christmas one. So it's not going to be this funny, fun, light little thing. The premise so far that I can get is that she has a son who is autistic and nonverbal, and they're going to be, which in real life, she does have a son who's autistic, I believe. And if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not sure about as the verbal part, but so I'm sure that this is something that's very close to her heart that she's doing here. And uh, she's divorced and she also has a daughter. And so they're going to go and look at this school for him that's far away from home. And he's never been away from home. So, like, already this is like, the emotional kind of mom feels of like letting your baby birds fly out of the nest. And then, especially, like, how you would feel if you had a child with special needs that you were going to be away from when they're so used to you being there all the time and stuff like that. So, like, as a mom, I can totally like relate to that, right? So, uh but again, this isn't my type of movie. When I sit down to watch a Hallmark movie, I want just mindless, fluffy, like I want to laugh if possible, just feel good type of thing, right? So I know I'm sure this is gonna have a happy ending and it's gonna have good feels and stuff, but I'm just telling you going in. Okay. And then the male lead was also the male lead in Ice Wine Christmas, which was a Lifetime movie, which I somehow managed to watch, and I don't know why because I found it incredibly boring. And I thought his character was incredibly boring. So, like, I saw him and I was like, oh, God, why did they put him in this movie? Like, I barely want to watch this movie anyway, and then they put this guy in the movie. So, I'm all kinds of biased. So, I'm telling you that so that you know, like, what I wind up saying about this movie, you have to keep in mind that there's all of these things, right? So did I already mention like, and I want to love Holly Robinson Pete when she's in these things. Like she's in the Evergreen movies and she's fine. And did I already say like I go way back to 21 Jump Street with Holly Robinson Pete? Like I used to watch that, Johnny Depp and whichever DeLuise that was on there, and the other guy. Anyway, those good times. So uh yeah, so we'll see. I'm only 27 minutes in. I got my Animal Crossing. This is my cover. And if ever a cover of a case was on brand for me, this is it. Because basically inside I'm like still a 12-year-old girl that I can't believe um, has to do any adulting. So, and unicorns and rainbows are freaking awesome. Wow, it's almost 10 minutes. I can't. So, only diehard Gen fans will have gotten this far. I'm going to go back and watch this movie. I will be playing my game also, too, though, because I need that as my emotional support. And I'll let you know. My wrap up, I promise, will, like, literally just be, like, really, really short. Okay, bye. Come on. I hate it when I do that. I freeze my face, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Bye. I forgot to say, they're at a restaurant and they're ordering. I don't know if it's breakfast or lunch, but she ordered a cup of tomato soup, which I thought was very boring, but whatever. If you love tomato soup, lots of people love tomato soup. It's just never something I think I would order at a restaurant. And maybe it's because I don't know that I've ever had like a good tomato soup. I think I've only ever had Campbell's tomato soup, which it doesn't bring back exciting memories. Although I know like a grilled cheese with a tomato soup is iconic, but that's not the kind of memory I have around like a tomato soup. Again, I'm not a tomato soup hater, and I'm not judging anybody for wanting tomato soup. I'm just thought it was an interesting choice. So she orders a cup of tomato soup. She orders 2 slices of bacon. She orders toast with the crust cut off and a sugar cookie. What I'm picturing is being a grown woman ordering toast with the crust cut off because, like, I feel like that's very high maintenance. Like, couldn't you just cut those crusts off when the toast gets to your table if you don't like crust? I thought it was odd. That's all. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, I'm back to it. I'm back, and it's time to wrap up this movie with my fancy scarf on. And I I liked it fine. I think it's an important movie. I think that we should have movies like this about families dealing with kids with special needs. I love that the kid who played the son who has autism actually has autism in real life. I think he did a great job because he doesn't talk at all, but yet you are invested in him and his character, and you are invested in the story of the family. I really like the girl that plays his sister. I think she has a really especially great scene where she talks to mom about how she feels about how everybody has to make sacrifices for Marcus. Oh my god, I'm such a terrible memory. I just finished it 10 minutes ago, but for her brother. Um, so I think that any family who deals with kids with special needs would really appreciate this movie. Um, for me, it's not gonna be at the bottom of my list, but it's not gonna be at the top of my list. And I said already all of those biases that I have going into it. But oh, and I really love Grandma. The lady who plays Holly Pete Robinson's mom. I don't know her name. I will look that up and I will put that there. And I didn't hate that guy like I really didn't like him in that Ice Wine movie, but I liked him here. So, um, yeah. Again, don't know where it's gonna land, but um, it's a nice little movie. It has a lot of Christmas feels, good family feels, and things like that. So I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad this is a year where I wouldn't have just said, "Oh, that looks like it's going to be um, not the typical thing I want to watch, so I'm just going to skip it." So I'm glad that I watched it. So there you go. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll be back with more. Thanks. Bye.